But you have some news on Teofimo's plans at 135 and 140. What is it?
He's also the guy with all 4 belts. He is undisputed. I feel obligated to mention that with all the other heat some of these guys get. But his plan is he figures he has 2 fights left at lightweight. So there's Ryan Garcia, which would make him a lot of money, and there's Devin Haney, who has one of the many meaningless WBC belts.
Just last year, to become the mandatory for Lomachenko meant everything to us, you know, becoming his mandatory. You have different opinions about whether or not that he was successful becoming his mandatory, or whether Lomachenko decided to take a route and going and getting the franchise title before it could actually be proven to the people that Devin was there and in a position to fight him legitimately for the 135-pound lightweight title. So I have a bittersweet kind of respect, you would say, for Lomachenko and their team, in the sense of, you know, they chose the direction that they chose to go in, but to undermine and not completely explain to the people that they thought that would be an easier route in Teofimo than actually facing Devin Haney. That way the people would have a clear understanding of what having 4 belts actually means. It's unfair and it's unjust that one sanctioning body in the WBC is kind of allowing it to be a misunderstanding when the other 3 sanctioning bodies, the WBO, WBA, and IBF, only have 1 champion that they declare, only 1 belt. And if they decide that the super champion is the belt to have, then the super champion must have mandatories. In the sense of Gervonta Davis being a champion at the WBA and Teofimo also being the champion in the WBA, Teofimo would be the one to get the mandatory, so he would be considered the world champion, and as well as the IBF and WBO as well. The champion that has the mandatories is the champion. So for the Max Kellermans of the world, who claim to be historians, who claim to be experts, Joe Tessitore's of the world, you know, I can only say one thing to them, that the great Roger Mayweather told me, the Black Mamba, he say, y'all don't know shit about boxing, you know? And you know, they know a lot of shit, but they don't know boxing. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you won't fool all the people all the time, you know? In order for it to be clearly an undisputed champion, all roads go through Devin Haney.
Just to touch on what you were talking about, it's clear as day in the sport of boxing, for organization, there only could be 1 champion. IBF can only have 1 champion, or the WBC. You can't have 2 champions per organization,
No.
right? And we know the title that everyone held, from all the greats, like you pointed out, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather, they all held the title that Haney has. So what's your take on Max Kellerman?
Max Kellerman, like I said, Max Kellerman don't know shit about boxing. Joe Tessitore don't. And if they do know, they got a muzzle on them and they can't tell the truth because they're scared they're going to lose their job. You know what I mean? They're very opinionated, but it's all pro Top Rank, a company that's affiliated with ESPN, so on and so forth. So I don't know what to necessarily say about them other than they don't really know shit about boxing, man.
Earlier today, I was extremely shocked that on ESPN, one of the biggest sport platform, Max Kellerman was talking to Mark, and he said that Devin Haney WBC title is meaningless, and they continuously false promoting Teofimo.
Let me tell you what's meaningless is the jobs that they have. Them 2 jobs, the shit that they talking about is meaningless because let me tell you why. And I want the people to understand this is they have a voice. Those are 2 guys. They have a voice. What they're saying, just like you have and I have. You know what I mean? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Devin is 25-0, and he's won every belt in the WBC organization. He's more qualified to fight as a world champion, more qualified to fight Teo than anybody in the 135-pound division.
Right.
We don't say next, we say now.
Yes, sir. And obviously, if we go and by what they claiming that Devin Haney WBC title is meaningless, even though that's the same title Muhammad Ali had, the GOAT himself, Floyd Mayweather, and all of the above, then what is Teofimo franchise title? What is that? Is that the real title? Who held that title before, Bill?
I mean, like we said, all the greats didn't held that title. I mean, my time in boxing.
I'm talking about the franchise. Who
Oh,
held
the
that?
franchise? No, that's Canelo Lomachenko. Now Teofimo Lopez.
They needed witness protection. That's why they requested a title that didn't even exist at the time. Now, I do have a super chat for you real quick that I want to get out the way. My man said if they duck and go after Fortuna, why not?
Listen, Fortuna can get it. Fortuna can get it now. That's what I'm saying is Fortuna could have got it in the WBC tournament. He could have got it before he decided to fight with Luke Campbell for an interim. He can get it next. Now. It don't matter. We want to go with who the people want to see him in there with. Devin is the world champion. And we want to defend against who the people want to see him defend against. The best qualified opponent. We're not picking nobody. That's the thing is if we pick Fortuna, then you say we duck Tio. We pick Tio, you say we're gonna duck Fortuna.
Right. You damn if you do, damn if you don't. Now I got another super chat for you real quick. I want to get out the way. Haney versus Tank, Tio or Ryan. Which is the toughest fight in your opinion, and which is the most lucrative?
I'll tell you what. I mean, none of them is tough to us. The way that they being cowards, you know what I'm saying? You know, not actually telling the truth. I shout out to Ryan, you know what I'm saying? Because Ryan, I don't put Ryan on the coward side. I put, you know what I mean, him, I respectfully, like I give respect to him and his team and respect to him because he told the truth. He said that he feels that Devin is his toughest fight. He's going to want to put him to last. So he said he want to fight Tank first, then because he feels that that's an easier fight, you know, and then we fight, then that's fine with us, you know. We're also available for Tio to establish a true undisputed champion. But if Tio ain't with it, if Tio ain't with it, if he want to duck and play and do all that shit, hide the franchise part and do all that, have his belt with Top Rank and play them games, man, then come on, man. You know, you then keep playing. But we don't got to play with you now. You know, we got enough of our people, enough of our fans that want to see Devin get in the ring because they know that, shit, he going to get in there with whoever. And his next opponent in April is going to be with whoever raises their hand, you know?
Yes, sir. Now, speaking of Max Kellerman, he said that Tio does not have to fight Devin Haney, but he want to see Tio fight Ryan when Ryan is just the silver champion. He has the silver WBC title.
He is one man. He is one man. He needs to be checked. He might be on something over there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. He might have been drinking that day, or I don't know. He might have some hater Kool-Aid in the system, or I don't know, bro. Like I said, I can't say too much more for Tessitore and Max Kellerman other than they just don't know what they fucking talking about because I'm in the streets every day, and I know the people want to see Devin and Tio. You know what I'm saying? They want to see Devin and Tio, Devin and Ryan, Devin and Tank. You know what I'm saying? They want to see them fights. The one difference between Devin and everybody else is that Devin is available for any one of them. But everybody else is conveniently picking something else to do. So for Max Kellerman or Tessitore to not know that, then you got to question anything that they might know about basketball, football, any of the other sports that they talk about. Because boxing, man, brother, they talk like they know it. But, you know, like I said, either they lying or you know, something is wrong, man. And I don't want to spend too much time on them because they're just one voice. I value your platform just as much as I would value ESPN. Because if you don't want to be truthful and be fair, then how could you ever bring races together? How could you ever bring people together? So Dev don't need no help. He don't need nobody lying for him. You know, he works out. He's a student of the game. You know, he doesn't drink or smoke. You know, so you know he's totally dedicated to his craft. So I'm 100%, 150% behind him. You dig? Against anybody in the world. Period.
I think it's fair to say it's extremely shocking to see, you know, ESPN and Max Kellerman telling express lies on national television. And just to point out one last thing before we leave that Max Kellerman topic, you know, it's funny because Max called out the Zone, Mora, and Chris Mannix for ignoring Tio as a potential opponent for Ryan during his last fight. But how ironic is it that when ESPN, during the commentary for Lomachenko versus Teofimo, they completely ignored Devin Haney?
Man, Chris Maddox is just as bad over there at the Zone where we at. So, you know what I'm saying? It don't make a difference, you know. I don't spend a lot of time with it. I mean, we don't play the politics game. You know what I'm saying? We know that we put the work in. You know what I mean? We put our money behind our work, behind our mouth, keep our nose down, and just keep trying to get these guys in the ring to make these events happen. And that's all that you can pretty much do.
Back in the day, the commentators were actually pressing the fighters to fight each other. But nowadays, the commentators are trying to give the fighters a way out, and the fighters got to check the commentators. The way Ryan did to Chris Mannix, so he tried to tell him he the shot caller. He don't got to fight the champ Devin. He don't got to fight Tank. And Ryan,
that's them. That's them. No, they protecting the fighters that need protecting. You know what I'm saying? I get on here and I don't tell you, you know, yeah, don't let the people, or we don't turn off our comments on our Instagram, or we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got problems and everybody go through shit, I'm sure, you know, but we're talking about deciding who is the best at 135. We're not here bullshitting with you, period. We want Teofimo now, right now.
Hold it, hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I still got the wall. I got the wall.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.